of you know what technology is available to you, how can you plan to effectively use it in your classroom? I'm Kat Zimmerman, a member of the Patent AEGY team. Let's start planning together in today's pop-up practice.
When and how should you use technology in the classroom? Before we start looking at ways to integrate technology, remember that your content always comes first. When using tech in the classroom, you should be able to complete the phrase, I am teaching blank using blank to blank. I am teaching content using technology to the purpose of that technology. For example, I am teaching note-taking using Google Slides to model and allow for group collaboration. What we want to avoid is using tech for the sake of using tech. Technology is a tool and it serves a purpose. So then how do we integrate technology with purpose? Let's take a look at the SAMR or SAMR model for help. The SAMR model was created by Dr. Puentedura in 2013 and compares 4 levels of technology integration. In the analogy shown here, the no technology case is climbing a tree. The first level of integration is substitution. Technology acts as a direct tool substitute with no functional change. Instead of climbing a tree to reach a height, we're using a ladder. The next level is augmentation. Technology acts as a direct tool substitute with a functional improvement. By using a hot air balloon, we can go much higher. Both of these first 2 levels of integration are categorized as enhancements to the lesson. The third level is modification. Here, technology allows for significant task redesign. By using an airplane, we're no longer just focused on achieving new heights, but can also travel great distances safely and with large groups, which was not possible with our hot air balloon. The final level is redefinition. Technology allows for the creation of new tasks which were previously inconceivable. By using a rocket ship, we can explore far beyond our Earth, completely redefining the task at hand. Modification and redefinition are both categorized as transformation of the lesson. Let's look at an example lesson task and apply the SAMR model. Here's a classic example of a task used at many grade levels and across many subjects. Learn about a topic. In our no-tech example, we might read about this topic using the course textbook. To substitute, we could instead read about the topic using a digital textbook. To augment the lesson, we could read about this topic using that digital textbook and annotating with highlights, bookmarks, etc. Screen readers also provide the option to listen to the text, which is a great adjustment for students struggling with reading. To modify, we could instead read a short summary article, then find and share a primary resource with student annotations on a student message board, and have students respond to 2 or 3 posts made by their classmates. And to redefine this task, we could create a collaborative slide deck filled with student-created resources, comments, and discussions, using a rubric or a checklist to assign student and group requirements. So then, does using more technology make the lesson better or increase how much students are going to learn? The short answer is no, and the best way to figure out whether you should or shouldn't use technology in that case is to consider your goal. Let's revisit our example, learn about a topic, and look at different goals. In our no-tech example, we're trying to get students information and we're also working on a little bit of reading skills. The same is true for substitution. At the augmentation level, we're really still doing the same thing. The goal is the same. The only difference is that our reading is now a supported goal because of the screen reader. At the modification level, we're still getting that information, we're still working on reading, but we're also working on a little bit of research for that primary resource and a little bit of analysis as well because we're asking students to provide their annotations. At the redefinition level, again, all of those goals as well, but we're really focusing more heavily on evaluating those resources, and we're also facilitating discussion among students and collaboration between them, as well as a product creation. We can take this a step further in comparing our goals to Bloom's taxonomy. At no tech or substitution, we're asking students to remember what they've read. With our augmentation using the digital textbook, we might be more in the understanding stage by having students annotate the reading. This also depends a bit on how we're going to ask students to show their learning. At the modification level, we're asking students to analyze their primary resource and provide commentary. And at the redefinition level, we're asking students to create and share their research. This is similar to a research paper, but a little bit less formal. Which version of this lesson I choose to use really depends on which of these goals is most applicable in that situation. So when should you use the technology? The answer is when it enhances the lesson and works towards the right learning goals. Not every lesson needs to be on the rocket ship. Always plan with your goals in mind and think, how can technology help you and your students? Although there may be a learning curve to use a new tool, its use should ultimately improve teaching and learning engagement and outcomes while still addressing your learning goals. As you plan to integrate technology into more of your lessons, you can use this free worksheet to help use the SAMR model. 2 more examples are included in this worksheet along with space for planning your own lesson content. Use the link below to download and print. A poster version of the SAMR model shown in this presentation is also available below. Thanks for joining me on today's pop-up practice. Remember to like and subscribe, and check out the pop-up practices playlist for more. We'll see you next time on Pop-Up Practices, where practice makes progress.